Before thermometers, microscopes, refrigeration, or governments, humans face a simple but deadly problem. How do you stop people from doing things that quietly kill them? The answer, over and over, was this: you make the rules sacred. Across cultures, religions ban certain foods not randomly, not irrationally, but often because those foods were dangerous, wasteful, destabilizing, or ecologically disastrous. These rules were ancient solutions to real-world problems, encoded in holiness. Jewish dietary law, known as kashrut, divides animals into clean and unclean categories. Pork, shellfish, and certain birds were forbidden. In the ancient Levant, pork was risky. Pigs fried poorly in dry climates spoil quickly when slaughtered and carry parasites when undercooked. Without germ theory, the pattern would have been simple. People eat pork, people get sick, sometimes people die. Shellfish present a similar story. They filter toxins from the water and spoil rapidly in heat. Red tides and bacterial contamination were invisible killers. Declaring shellfish unclean reduced exposure to unpredictable poisoning. These laws weren't framed as health advice, they were framed as identity and holiness. That framing ensured obedience, even when the original danger had faded from memory. Islamic dietary laws mirrors much of Jewish law. Pork is forbidden, blood consumption is banned, and animals must be slaughtered in specific ways. Pork carried out the same risk in Arabia as it did in ancient Israel. Additionally, pigs competed with humans for grain and water, precious resources in arid regions. Prohibition on blood consumption likely reduced exposure to pathogens. Ritual slaughter methods ensured quicker bleeding and cleaner meat, lowering spoilage risks. Islam didn't invent these rules in a vacuum. It absorbed and preserved practices that had already survived centuries of trial and error. In many Hindu traditions, eating beef is forbidden or strongly discouraged. In ancient India, cows were economic engines. They provided milk, labor for plowing, dung for fuel and fertilizer, and stability during famine years. Killing a cow for meat offered short-term calories at the cost of long-term survival. By making the cow sacred, society protected its most valuable renewable resource. Theology here functioned as ecological insurance. Buddhism often promotes vegetarianism and restricts eating after midday, especially for monks. These rules reduce disease transmission, simplify food logistics, and prevent monks from competing with local populations for scarce resources. Eating lightly also supported meditation and reduced aggression. The spiritual goal was liberation, but the side effect was stability and health. Early Christianity inherited Jewish laws, but gradually shifted towards fasting and abstinence rather than outright bans. Meat restrictions during Lent and other fasting periods reduced overconsumption, conservative resources, and reinforced communal discipline. Monastic orders often banned meat or alcohol entirely. This lowered illness, reduced violence, and kept tightly packed communities functional. Many indigenous cultures forbid eating certain animals, restrict hunting seasons, or reserve foods for specific groups. These rules protect breeding populations and prevent ecological collapse. Spirits, taboos, and ancestral laws enforced what modern science would call sustainable resource management. Breaking the rule didn't just harm the environment, it angered the unseen world. Fear preserved balance. Forbidden foods are rarely arbitrary. They are often fossilized solutions to ancient problems: disease, scarcity, instability, and ignorance. Religion didn't replace reason, it carried reason forward using the tools available at the time: story, fear, identity, and ritual. Long after the danger passed, the rules remain because sacred rules don't require explanations to survive. Seen this way, religious food laws aren't embarrassing relics. They're evidence that humans have always been problem solvers, even when they didn't yet know the language of science.